All right, so we got Grand Challenge 3 starting. We have a new 7-star raid, and we get Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions, the DLC coming up. We get news for it all on the day that I had to stay late for parent-teacher conferences. So I get to make a video nice and late. But we saw some really cool things, some really interesting things, and we got new megas out of this. So if you guys enjoy this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below which returning Pokemon are you most excited for. I'll share that in a bit. But first off, we get the cinematic trailer that doesn't show much gameplay. It just shows mostly cutscenes. We see that we fall into this mega dimension, which honestly seems just to be a recolored version and some changes of Lumio City. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I definitely thought we'd be going elsewhere, outside of the city at least. But I mean, I want to say I get it, but I don't. Like, they should have given us a new area. That I'm super bummed about. At least there's going to be different Pokemon. And here, you see that these Corviknights are level 120. They have broken that level 100 level cap that has been around for darn almost 30 years, which is crazy, but it is not uncommon for other games, especially ones that want to add continuous updates to increase the level cap, to increase the difficulty. But it seems like Pokemon's doing it in a little bit of a different way. It's going to be temporary from what it seems like. And so this is adding more of a challenge. And I do get why they're doing this, because my story mode team is all level 100. I have 6 level 100 Pokemon. So if they wouldn't have done this and I got the DLC, I would have just blown through it because my Pokemon were over leveled. So this is a way to add challenge to the people that they know have already grinded their way through everything. And I don't think this is going to be very detrimental to this series in a way of like changing a bunch of stuff, because like I said, I feel like this is temporary and it's only going to be in this area, as we can see from the gameplay trailer. But it's interesting to say the least that they actually even did this, because we saw with, with Gigantamax battles and 7-star raids, the way they increase the difficulty is by increasing the health of the Pokemon. And that is slowly not becoming a challenge anymore. And so the next step is to increase the level. I wonder what this will mean for stat changes and EVs and all that stuff. But we'll have to find out when we get that. We got Annihilate coming back. We got Corviknight coming back. We have the fossil Pokemon. So this might be our way to shiny hunt the fossil Pokemon. Besides just buying fossils and renewing them and resetting when they're not shiny. But the higher level is interesting overall. We see some of the storyline characters, and we meet our new character here with our buddy Hoopa. Now, a lot of people are making the connection and the similarity to Diantha, which was Kalos's champion. And I don't know. I would have to look into it. Like, did she have a child? Because it's only been 5 years since the events of X and Y. So this child looks older than 5. I wouldn't like my kid's 4. I'm not going to let him bake things next year. We got Corina coming back. She was one of the gym leaders. She was the gym leader that introduced Mega Evolution to us in X and Y. And she is also the original owner of Lucario that AZ has. We have Mushrana here, Chimecho, Baxicalbur, Golurk. And we see the 2 new Megas, right? Mega Baxicalbur and Mega Chimecho. And this might be a reach here, but clearly Baxicalbur looks like a sword, right? You can kind of stretch that Chimecho looks like a shield, It's a round, circular object. And Chimecho is more known for its support. So is this like a callback to Sword and Shield? I don't know. We see some moves that we haven't seen before. The one that caught everyone's attention was this giant plant move. And I want to say this is like the pledge moves just really like blown up. Like maybe there is a new version of the pledge moves, but this seems like that would be it because we saw one for fire, water, and grass. So like my brain goes to pledge moves. We see the Mega Raichus here, and it's interesting, but I'll talk about it when we get to the gameplay trailer. Once again, you see Aerodactyl, so the fossils, talking about the hyperspace. And, you know, it seems interesting. There's a lot of things to catch your attention. There's a lot of Pokemon that you might want to shiny hunt. But at the same time, like, why couldn't you take us to a new place? That's so far my only criticism. Is that they should have created a new area. But if there's more DLC coming down the line, I could see them using this one as like a starting point. It's still not okay to me. But you know, we just got to deal with it or don't buy it. I already bought it, so I'm not super worried about it. But when we go into the gameplay trailer, you see Skarmory and Corviknight together. And here you see a couple more Pokemon here. This is where they show the gameplay and explain a couple of things about the story. I don't have the sound on, obviously. So they show Lumio City, and then they show these little warp points, which are going to be activated by Hoopa. So it looks like there's going to be different spawn points you unlock throughout the story. Ansha. Yeah, Ansha, people are making the connections that she looks very similar to Diantha, and I don't disagree with that, but also, like, did she say that she had a child? Now I want to look into it. Okay, so it doesn't say that she has a daughter. So it's either we didn't know during the events of X and Y, or this kid is like 4 or 5. I don't know. I feel like it's a stretch. I feel like just because it's a Legends game doesn't mean that every character has to like be related to someone, like in Legends Arceus. But we do see Hoopa, and it explains that Hoopa uses its rings to open up portals into the hyperspace. And Hoopa is going to play a very important role. So once again, we see the hyperspace. It looks like Lumio City. It's just recolored, reskinned, yada, yada, yada. Not that exciting. But we see regional forms pop up, including my boy, Alolan Marowak. I'm excited to see Alolan Marowak come back. And then you also see Galarian Mr. Mime. So we will see Mr. Rhyme in this as well. And this kind of makes me curious because in Lumio City, you can get a Raichu and you trade for a Alolan Raichu. In the Sun and Moon games, when you were traveling through the wormholes, this is where you could get a regular Raichu like because Sun and Moon takes place in Alola, so you get a Alolan Raichu when you evolve Pikachu. So my first thought was, oh, you can evolve Pikachu here to get a Alolan Raichu because there's other regional forms. But then there are the Mega Raichus, which seem to Mega Evolve from regular Cantonian Raichu. So will we be able to get a lone Raichu? I don't know. Right now, I think maybe that's why we haven't seen Mega Raichu yet, because of this hyperspace having a Alolan Raichu and us just now getting to the hyperspace. We also see up in the top left corner, you see a calorie count with the levels. And so this is how we are going to achieve the bonus levels, and it will show a little bit more. But we see that it says plus 16, and right now this Malamar is level 96. So this means that this Malamar is originally level 80, and this Golisopod is level 142. We see some challenges here. These are probably going to be tied to unlocking more donuts, more powerful donuts, as they show in the next parts. Talks about unlocking the secrets of hyperspace. It talks about Hooper and, oh my goodness, what's her name again? Ansha. It's Ansha. For a second, I was like, why donuts? But they're rings. They're rings, and it's Hoopa. That's why it's donuts. But Hoopa and Ansha make donuts together. And from what we see is that these donuts give you a level bonus, and the amount of the level bonus is based on what kind of berries you use. So when you go into the hyperspace Lumio City, we'll get hyper berries, which will be able to increase the levels more. So you can blend different berries together with the sour, spicy, sweet, bitter, and fresh. But we're going to be able to increase the amount of calories the donut gives us and increase the level boost that the donuts give us. And so, once again, Pokemon has introduced some form of cooking element. I guess they're not going to want us to cook curry at least, or make a sandwich. Now we're making donuts. What I wonder about this is throughout the trailers, you see that calorie level decrease very quickly, especially when they're in battle. So I'm wondering, can you only do one donut at a time? Can you make multiple donuts and take them into hyperspace with you and use them for Hoopa to keep you in there longer? Or are you going to have to unlock different warp points throughout Lumio City with Hoopa? Because your donut and your energy is going to dictate how long you're able to stay in hyperspace. So basically everything is going to be like a little speed run. Every time you go in, you only have a certain amount of time, which is gonna make shiny hunting in there kind of a pain in the butt. But I feel like the time restriction will kind of make things fun and will make people have to work for the better donuts and the better items rather than just like jumping in and just sitting around. And also the increased levels are going to do that as well. Like if your donut runs out, you lose your level boost, and then so your highest Pokemon is level 100. One thing I do want to note, Cerebi already showed it, and there are special donuts that Ansha can make, and they look familiar. So this will probably be how we get Groudon and Kyogre, and I would have to assume because of Mega Evolution, we're going to get their primal reversions. So that's going to be exciting to see. But this is all we know, just the donuts so far. We don't know if they're attainable, how long they're attainable for. Karina comes back once again. She is coming to help out with the hyperspace, and you can see that she is covered in Mega Stones. But she's covered in Pokemon's Mega Stones. So does she just take them off and slap them on the Pokemon when she needs that Pokemon to Mega Evolve, or what? I don't know. Are these Pokemon that she's conquered? Is she just trying to make a fashion statement? So they show the newly released Mega Pokemon, Mega Chimecho. They talk about how it uses powerful sound-based moves. So I'm thinking it probably gets some form of punk rock that increases the damage from sound-type moves. Of course, that won't matter until we get it in Pokemon Champions, and then we get Mega Baxicalbur. And honestly, I think Mega Baxicalbur is sick. Once again, I really like how they are just playing on we are going to make their design better. We're going to make their design more natural. It's going to look more of a natural evolution for that Pokemon. And it's a giant sword. I think it's the little jaw, chin strap, beard, ice beard going on. Looks pretty cool as well. And so we see the Raichu. How does Raichu connect to the story other than just the Mega Raichu X and Y? And we get a release date of December 10th. So really good that it's coming so quickly, because I do feel like one of the downsides of the game is that you can go through it very quickly. I have basically, besides collecting like all the screws and all the TMs, I've caught all the Pokemon. I've done all the side missions. I've done the story. I've done multiple levels of the Infinite Royale. All things considered, other than online battles, I'm done with the game. Also, the thing about online battles, they have tweaked the ranked rewards, but now we see that Baxicalburite is going to be a reward for Season 4. So they're keeping you in. The people who were mad about it for the Kalos starters, you got to keep being mad, but this is also good for people who don't have the DLC, because I would assume that you can earn the Baxicalburite and then use it on a Baxicalbur that you can bring from home. So this allows people who don't have the DLC to still get those Mega Stones, which I feel like is, not too bad, counting on the fact that like you're getting access to at least one new Mega without having to pay. You do still need the Nintendo Switch Online, but I mean, I have it. I know some people don't. Also, if you have purchased the DLC, you right now get access to Dianceite and a side mission to get Diancie itself. So we already have a mythical distribution with its Megastone ready to go. So if you're done with the game, you can go do this once you pre-order the DLC. And this one is just basically an ad for that in itself. And that's really the last bit of news. Just an extra side mission. It doesn't look like it takes long, but you get Mega Diancie. So I think that's pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about is they have already said that we are going to find out more Mega Evolutions on the 19th. So that's less than 2 weeks away. So less than 2 weeks away, we're going to get more Mega news dropping, more new Mega Evolutions. And I think that's really exciting. And that's what people want to play ZA for, the new Mega Evolutions. And that's going to be the selling point of the DLC, because it's not going to be exploring a new area. But if you've seen the data mines and the leaks, it's already spoiled for you. I do think I know which two we're going to see, but I'm not going to say who or why, because I know that there are people watching that might have not seen the leaks, and I don't want to ruin it for them. But here on the website, we got descriptions for Chimecho. In this form, Chimecho is flanked with 6 dangling copies. This is basically just the same description from the gameplay video. But we can see that Mega Chimecho gets the steel typing. So having that steel typing is actually really good for it. So it's still power crept. So like, I don't know if 100 base stat points is going to be enough, but the steel typing is definitely going to help a lot. And then Mega Baxicalbur, if you make it faster and hit harder, you're going to be good. It's going to be good. It's got a giant sword on its back. Baxicalbur was already pretty good. I can't wait to see its ability. I wonder how they're going to do Glaive Rush. Is it still going to double the damage after it like uses that move? Like, will we still need Protect on our Baxicalburs and ZA? That's something I'll wonder. I'm not surprised that it didn't change typings, but I'm excited overall. I think this isn't bad. You get a nice little pre-order bonus. Whatever. Once again, they drop the ranked battles unlocking Megastones. They show you Diancie, the Diancie event. But for it coming in December, which is going to be good because it's in between Black Friday shopping and it comes out before Christmas. So that means the Christmas people will have so much to do when the game comes out. That'll be really exciting for those people. It's exciting that for people like me who have already swept through the main story to get a little bit more. And I think seeing something this early, there's definitely more DLC in store. Now, that's not going to be fun paying for it, but it's going to be fun seeing what we get out of it. Hopefully we have some stories, some events, and something to do with friends. I definitely thought there would be a system to do rogue mega evolutions with your friends. Maybe there is. I haven't looked it up yet. I don't have friends. But that's going to be all. I really don't know what else to say. It all looks good. It's all exciting. Besides the fact that we're not getting a new area, we're just getting a reskin Lumio City. That's really my own gripe. The labels are definitely off. Another thing I noticed is that this color scheme right here gives me a big old, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, our Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl vibe, like with the color. And so I think there's a lot of callbacks to previous games, and I wonder if that's intentional. I definitely think, with hyperspace involved, it's like talking about time and space Pokemon kind of makes sense. But even though I know Hoopa's really the one with the hyperspace thing, but I don't know. We'll see more when it comes out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Which Mega are you more excited about? Baxicalbur or Charmeco? What Mega do you want to see next? Shout out to Mega Flygon. Are you coming? And then what other Pokemon did you see in this trailer are you excited for? For me, it's definitely Alolan Marowak. Love that guy. But that's going to be all. Until next time, I'm Zach, and we'll see everyone later.